Welcome ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to take a look at the Stamina Dragonknight PvP build Gladiator for the Summerset chapter. I do have a written guide on my website, link in the description below. This build is optimized for Battlegrounds, however it also works in Cyrodiil. Now I will show you off stats from the champion points and non-champion points. So unbuffed, currently we are in the champion points campaign. So unbuffed, your stats should look something like this, with the sword and board on the sword and board bar. Now we are going to the non-champion points campaign. Now we are in the non-champion points campaign. I will do the video here because the build is optimized for Battlegrounds, which are non-champion points. So those are basically the stats you will get in Battlegrounds. Okay. And this is more than enough. We also have really fast ultimate regen with this build. Now obviously when I buff myself a little bit more, the stats look even better. We're running the Serpent Mundus Stone to get more stamina recovery. And in terms of buff food, you want to run Dubious Cameron Throne. This is a very nice buff food which gives you stamina recovery, max stam and max health. You could run the Arteum Proof something, which is a little bit better but way more expensive, keep in mind. Potion wise, there is a lot of good options that you have. So there is the Immove potions which give you CC immunity, speed buff and stamina. Then there is some that give you CC immunity, health and stamina. Then there is, I use those mostly when there is a lot of Night Blades in the Battlegrounds. You increase the stealth detection radius, but you have to be careful with your stamina if you use those. On my website you can find ingredients how to make those potions. In terms of race, there is basically a few choices. So I do like Redguard because it gives you the adrenaline rush. 792 stamina every 5 seconds, doesn't sound like a lot, but it's quite nice. Then you get 10% max stam and 9% stamina recovery. Now if you want the best sustain there is, but you will lose a lot of max stam, then go Argonian. Argonians have simply the best sustain in PvP, hands down. So Argonian, Redguard would be the two best choices in my opinion. Of course, other setups also work, like other races. However, you might want to invest a little bit more into stamina recovery. I'm not a vampire nor a werewolf. You can be a werewolf, but I do not recommend being a vampire. There's just too much fire damage going on, it will kill you really fast. Now in terms of sets, like I said, this is the Gladiator build. It's on my website as well. I will do more stem DK builds. Now, first set is Shackle Breaker. So this is one of my favorite sets for Battlegrounds because it gives you a lot of max stem and max magicka. Now why would we need magicka? Basically, as you can see, we have wings, we have the fragmented shield and we have volatile armor, which all need magicka. And especially the wings are a very strong defense ability. Max Orcs or just range classes in general deal so much damage this patch, so wings really help mitigate most of the damage because you can reflect most abilities. Especially stuff like crystal frags and light attacks. That's why I really like Shacklebreaker. I tested out like 4 different sets and this was by far my favorite. The second set we are using is Werewolf Hide to generate ultimate faster. Obviously, if you like 7th Legion more, go for it. It's another very good set that you can use if you would like to. I just like Werewolf Hide on this setup. Last set, Bloodspawn, to get even a little bit more ultimate regen. Plus you also get more resistance once it procs and the stamina recovery bonus. Now try to have 1, 2, 3 to 4, this here. 3 to 4 impenetrable and something like 3 well fitted, but I don't have the this here. It should be impen, but I don't have the right trait. Yeah, try to have 4 impen and 3 well fitted. Now you might ask, why well fitted? You really want some dodge, some roll dodge reduction and sprint, because you will sprint a lot. That's why I like those speed pots so much, because they give you basically permanent speed buff in Battlegrounds, which is kind of needed. I especially have the tendency to run too much, and then I just drain the stamina. So well fitted really helps. If you want, go 7 impen, it's up to you. I have tri-stack glyphs on all pieces just to boost my overall stats. You can see 12.6k, 23 and 31k. That's a lot for a non-champion points build. Then you want 5 heavy, 1 medium, 1 light to benefit as much from as possible from the Undaunted here, which gives you 6% more overall stats. Then front bar. Either a sword, dagger or axe, it doesn't really matter for sword and board. You can run sharpened or Nernhoned. I would actually prefer Nernhoned, I think I just tested out sharpened here. Nernhoned will give you a little bit better damage against shielded enemies and your heals will get bigger. So you can decide. But yeah, Nernhoned is probably the better choice. Then here, infused, just max stem, max magicka, whatever you would like. Doesn't really matter. You could also run another impen piece or another well-fitted piece. Back bar, Asylum Greatsword. This is kinda important, because this gives you a lot of ultimate regen if you actually kill enemies or they're low health. Basically, like, if an enemy has like 10-15% health and you use this 3 times, you get so much ultimate points. Now I run it infused with weapon damage, just to boost my overall weapon damage. So it's very important that you swap to the back bar and do light attacks from time to time. You want to keep this 452 weapon damage up almost as much as possible. You can keep this up like 80-90% because we have infused trait. And this set or this item drops in Asylum Sanctorium. You just need to do the normal mode. Very easy to get. You can legit just whisper in the zone chat, like looking for tank, healer, DDs for normal Asylum, and you should be able to do it. Okay, that's about this. Like I said, Nernhoned here, probably impen well fitted here would be best in slot. The best in slot setup is listed on my website. I just simply don't have all the right traits yet because transmuted stones are rare. Now in terms of traits here, I just go 3 robust because the max stem is just nice for the resource management. 1 reduced stamina cost enchantment, another one here, and then a weapon damage. Now the thing is, if you still struggle with sustain, or like I said, if you're not Argonian or a red guard, you could run an extra stamina recovery glyph here. That's another option. Keep that in mind. That's it about this setup. Like I said, if you prefer 7th Legion over Shackle, go for it. But I really like the Max Magicka simply because the wings give us so much protection. I have gameplay of this build on my YouTube as well, and I probably also placed the video on the website so you can go check it out how I play with it, and you will see the wings mitigate so much damage. One last thing I almost forgot, I use Escapist poisons here. They are quite strong, they immobilize the targets. They're usually very confused, 2.4 seconds. Doesn't sound like a lot, but this usually causes people to get rooted, and then they're confused and they dodge roll. And after the dodge roll, you want to CC them. So they basically have to use up all their stamina. Just do dodge roll and then break free. You don't have a lot of stem in Battlegrounds if you're a Magicka setup. Plus, they also drain stamina from the targets for 3.5 seconds. Now, champion points, you only really need this if you're in the champion points campaign. 1, 63, 49, 42, 52, 43, 27, 29, 56, 37. I have a lot of points here because of the Tactician passive, so we get off balance. 49, 52, that's it. 61, 48, 48, 37, 37, and 19. Again, this is all my website. Keep in mind, my website builds are always more up to date than videos, so if something is changed there, you will know why. Passives, what do you need? You need all class passives, sword and board, two-hander. Then you want heavy armor, because this is a heavy armor build. Medium armor, the first two and the last two as well here. The athletics, because it will give you more movement speed. And it also reduces the dodge roll cost, but I simply did not have skill points yet. If you want, we wear one light armor piece, so you could also use the first two ones here, just to get a little bit more magical cost reduction, which is nice for wings and other stuff. Fighter's Guild. And if you want to use Suchik, you can, but it's not really needed. Undaunted, you want the racial passives and medicinal use. Just to get a longer potion, you basically can keep them up 100%. As you can see here, gives us 47 seconds of like major fortitude and major endurance. And the CC immunity, 10 seconds. Now, skill bar. You have seen, like I've been streaming this a lot and I have tested this build a lot. I swapped around between reflective plate versus forward momentum and so on. But this setup gave me the best results by far. The reflective plate on the front bar. Now this reflects 4 projectiles back to the enemy, so especially against magical swords like crystal frags, light attacks and stuff like that, it's very, very strong. Mega Knight blades, the assassins will. They will basically not really be able to kill you as long as you time this right. Also, on activation, removes all snare and roots effects, so when you get rooted or snared, you can use this and you're fine to go. That's why we're not using forward momentum. Reverb Bash, now this is a very strong ability. Does a little bit of damage, but that's not the main thing why we use it. First off, it stuns the enemy. Second, it applies Major Defile, reducing the enemy's healing taken. Now, healing in Battlegrounds is a very, very costly resource. And when you apply Major Defile on the enemy, it's just like, it's really hard to actually out-heal the damage. Here's armor. This is your spammable. Now, it doesn't look like it's a lot of damage, but if you combine it correctly with like light attacks, pierce armor, bash, and so on, crit charge, we have the claw here, stampede. It deals a lot of damage. It applies major breach and major fracture. Okay, so it reduces the armor and spell resistance by a lot from the enemy. That's why it will deal so much damage, and it basically costs almost nothing. 1.1k. That's why we use this over something else. This is so cheap to use. This helps so much with sustain. Fragmented Shield. This is here to give us major mending, increasing your healing down by 25%. So you see 8k healing. Now I use the Fragmented. It goes up to 12.8. So this is a very, very important. I usually use Vigor and then I use the Fragmented just to get the full ticks and so on. Shield Discipline. Now here you have the choice. You can use Shield Discipline or Spell Wall. I found myself to find this morph better. Because I only use Shield Discipline in defensive situations, more or less. So the reflect thingy didn't really help a lot, in my opinion. But this here can be nice, because all your abilities, or not all your abilities, all your one-hand and shield abilities cost nothing. So things like Pierce Armor, Revert Bash basically cost nothing, so you can weave this for free. Can also be very helpful if you're low on stamina. Like I said, if you want Spell Wall, go for it. Rally. Now, like I said, I don't like forward momentum. We have reflective plate for that. You really want to have rally because the healing ticks and the burst heal at the end are so important for a stem setup, in my opinion. It also gives you access to major brutality. So that's why we can use those potions here. We don't need any weapon damage buff. And yeah, the burst heal. So the longer this lasts, the stronger the burst heal will get. So when you use the... When rally has like 10 seconds left and use it, you get a huge heal. Stampede. You can use this or crit rush. This is just nice because it applies a 60% snare on the enemy. And it's our gap closer. Executioner. In battlegrounds, use Executioner. Deals a little bit more damage, and the splash damage is usually not that useful from the reverse slash, reverse slice, something, whatever, the other morph. Simply because, yeah, enemies are usually not that close together, so this will deal more damage, you will get more kills. You should start using this at 30%. It will also increase your like ultimate regen because of the Asylum two-hander. Volatile armor gives you more resistance, so you can see 18.2, 15 when we use this. It's 23 and 20, that's quite a lot. On top of that, you also get 12% more healing received. That's really nice. So you want to keep this up all the time. It also deals a little bit of damage, which is nice. Venomous Claw. When I usually gap close to enemy, the first thing I do is apply a Venomous Claw. Because this dot deals a lot of damage. And the longer it runs, the more damage it deals. So by the time we get to the front bar and we apply our Revert Bash and do our combo, it deals a lot of damage. Plus, you see it only costs 727 stamina, it's basically free. Dawnbreaker of Smithing. God damn, why do I butcher each single ability's name? Anyway. Why overtake flight? It's simple. This actually will hit an enemy, okay? Take flight not. Take flight has a really nasty delay. Like a 1.5 second delay. So most enemies actually block this. Dawnbreaker of Smithing is completely instant. Yes, it says instant, but it's not instant, okay? That's the problem. Plus this is it has a conal AoE stun. I really tested out Take Flight a lot. Then I swapped to Dawnbreaker and I never went back, okay? It's as simple as that. 125 ulti, 125. This is simply the better choice. Hands down. Plus it also applies a dot on the enemy. And usually when you have Venomous Claw, you use the Revert Bash, the Pierce Armor. Then you use the Dawnbreaker of Smithing, Executioner. Most enemies will die, like you can see in my gameplay footage. I will put the link in the description about the gameplay I uploaded for this build. But yeah, that's one of the setups I run. I will do more builds, but I really like this. You have really fast ultimate regen. You have a lot of defensive abilities. The healing is nice. You can reflect a lot of abilities, and it's just in general it's really nice. Maybe another thing if you're new to Dragon Knights. Battle Roar. Every time we use an ultimate we get a lot of Magicka, stamina and health back. So that's also something really nice. Then when you use Fragmented Shield you also get 5% more weapon damage. And you gain 1k stamina back. This can really help. So just to show you, like when I block the stamina recovery is 0. Now I use the Fragmented Shield. You see it goes up. So it's really nice. Another thing, keep in mind, like when you're killing somebody with the two-hander, you also get another 30% stamina recovery. So your stamina rack is really high in the end if it's fully buffed. Just so that, yeah. I'll probably play this more. Make sure to tune in Twitch. I'm streaming a lot in June. After that I have to leave for the army for a month, but I will be back in August. But anyway, that's more or less it about this build. If you have any questions or suggestions, ask me in the comment section below, or let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe and hit the juicy like button. Have a nice day. Cheers.